What's up, everybody? This is the Tech Preacher. So I got the Sony One Mark II. I've been having this phone for about a week now, and this phone has been really good in a lot of different avenues, but this phone is all about the cameras, right? This device have 3 camera apps on. They have the regular camera app for the, I guess, for the regular consumer. You have your Cinema Pro app, and then you have the Photo Pro app. Now, I promised you guys that I was going to make separate videos and give you commentary on all 3 of these camera apps. Now, I've already made one video comparing this phone against the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. If you haven't saw that video, please check it out. I will leave the link down in the description below. So this video is going to be focused on Cinema Pro. So I'm going to show you about a minute or so cinematic clip that I did out in the park, just kind of messing around with the Sony, and I'm going to give you my commentary on how did I shoot it, the settings that I used, and my thoughts about using the Cinema Pro app. Sit back and relax, get your popcorn ready, and follow me on this journey. Let's go. All right, guys, so the clip you just saw was me out in the park just having some fun using the Sony One Mark II. And I did do some color grading with it, and I did it in Cinema Pro. I got some pros and cons with it. So let's get into it. Let me go to open up the Cinema Pro app so we can discuss, as y'all guys see, some of the things I did, and some of the things I like and some of the things I didn't like with the cinematography stuff that this device brings to the table. All right, so first of all, 4K resolution, 24 frames per second, outstanding. I'm good with that, no problem. I love it. When you're shooting cinematic footage, 4K, 24 frames per second, that's what you're gonna use. All right, since I was outside, one of my settings was daylight. Now you do have settings that you can make your adjustments accordingly, according to the scene. So I was outside, I used the daylight settings. Now this is the Pro app. This is nice. This is what I'm talking about. This is for professional content creators or professional cinematographers or professional filmmakers. This is what I like. So I love to see this interface like this. All right, second thing I want to talk to about is the lens selection. You got 3 lens selections here. You got 16 millimeter, which is nice. Very good wide angle on the, as far as 16 millimeter, 2.2 aperture. So it's a 2.2 aperture at 16 millimeters, nice wide angle lens. I shot a lot of this video, the cinematic part of the video, at 24 millimeters at 1.7 aperture. And the reason why, because I like that fast aperture. So 1.7 aperture, but if you want to zoom in and get that nice little portrait shot, which I did in this video, part of the video, I believe the statue, I got close with that 70 millimeter. I got close with the statue on the side angle. That was nice. So I did that at 70 millimeters at 2.4. So that was awesome. Now in certain scenes, I'm gonna show you this as I'm talking, certain scenes I had to do some color grading because again, some of the highlights was a little highlighted out, so I had to reduce the tones a little bit. So I had to do some color grading here. I had to up the saturation a little bit on some scenes. I had to do the highlights down a little bit. So I had to do some color corrections here on this this video. So just so you know, as you can see some of the before and after. Yeah, so the before, you see the highlights is blow it out. It looks really plain Jane. Then when you add color to it, it looks really good. So adding color, some saturation and some contrast, and tone down the highlights a little bit, because I found that when I was recording, I didn't see it on the device, but when I got it back in post, it definitely was blowing out highlights. So look, this was my first time out there in the scene shooting with this device, and on the scene, it looked good, but when I got back to post, I seen that some of the highlights was overexposed. So there's something you gotta think about this when you using this device, especially in the daytime. Now, here's the thing. You put your ISO is low, all the way low to 64, which is, you know, it's okay. But I mean, in the daytime, since I don't have no ND filters for this device, I had to play around with the shutter speed. All right, because it was too bright of scene sometimes, so I had to play with the shutter speed. And my shutter speed, I had to go from 1/50, and I had to even go, you know, higher than that, lower than that. I had to play around with my shutter speed just to get that good, perfect shot. And look, I can tell you that most of my shots that I did in this video, I felt it was a little bit overexposed. But since the file size is so big, I was able to fix some of it in post. Now, that's unheard of with smartphones, guys. Now, smartphones, once you overexpose something, it's hard to dial back the highlights and stuff like that. It's hard to dial back some of the overexposure that you do when you're using pro mode, stuff like that. Now, some of the things that I didn't like is that when I was out on the scene, my exposure and everything looked great. But when I got it into post, I seen that I was overexposed. So that's something that you have to take into account. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I thought I was good, but when I got back and uploaded to the PC, it wasn't as good as I wanted to be. So that's something you gotta take into account. Also, autofocus. Hey, I shot this with autofocus. I didn't even use manual focus, and it was great. So one of the things I want to show you guys is about the look. Now, you could change a lot of different things here as far as the look, the cinematic look here. Some of the things, if you could tell right here, I got NA, but you can change the look here to Venice and all kinds of different looks. So you go to a warm tone, strong tone, a cool tone, soft monochrome. Now, I did do a monochrome black and white footage of it. Let me show you that part right quick. And as you can see, everything kind of black and white. It looks really good there, so I like that. So you do have some nice profiles, but I started the video off with Venice, and you know, it gave you that off look, and like I did the water portion, the sky, I had used this profile. Everything looks cinematic. It looks really good. But I shot some of the video with NA. I didn't have no filters on at all, and it worked really good. Also, you got all kinds of stuff in your menu. You got the stabilizer, which I kept the stabilizer on. As you can see, the footage was really smooth. Now, I did use a stabilizer, and I did use my slider. So I used my slider and my stabilizer to do some of this video, because again, this is a professional app. So I bought my professional gear. So I did use my slider for part of the video to get that smooth transitions from side to side. So I got a whole video about my slider if you want to check it out. So I want to say that some of the stuff that you saw in this video, it was my mistake because it was overexposed, but that's what I saw when I was shooting the footage. So if I see it, I'm gonna shoot it thinking it's a perfect shot, but when I got it in post, it was not that great. This is Eric from Easy Computer Solutions. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think about the Sony 1 Mark II in all its glory. Got a lot of coverage coming out for this device. See you guys on the next video. Peace.